Hello, everyone, and welcome to Naturally Healthy Kids. My name is Jessica Meets, and I will be teaching this evening. Now, out of respect for your time, and because I am prone to going off topic, I have brought my notes. So I'll be keeping it on topic tonight. All right. So welcome. I am so glad you joined me this evening for this class. And I would just like to tell you a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Jessica Meets. I'm a mama of two beautiful 4-year-olds who are full of energy and keep me hopping, that's for sure. I want to preface this class by saying I am not a doctor. I'm just a mama sharing what has worked for me and for our family with you in the hopes that it will help you as well. So, I started using essential oils a little over 2 years ago. And in that time, I've noticed such a huge change in our family's health as we've made the switch from, everything we used to do, which, we used to do all the things, right? We took medications whenever we felt ill, and we ate the standard American diet, which is, the acronym is SAD for a reason. And, we thought we were doing fine. We really did. We didn't feel like we were unhealthy. But as I've started on this journey and started switching things out, I've really noticed a huge improvement in my energy levels, the way I feel, a frequency that our entire family goes to the doctor, which, hint, hint, is almost never, except for like well visits, which is amazing, and occasional emergencies, because I have a 4-year-old son who likes to do things that boys like to do. So, barring that, we almost never see the doctor, which is amazing. So why did I get started on this journey? Honestly, it wasn't for much at all. I'd seen my best friend using essential oils for about a year, and she was using them for things like dealing with migraines and allergies and whatnot. And she had a couple of recipes that I really liked. She had a DIY bug spray that I really liked. And she had a roller bottle that my husband found helped his joints. And I just wanted to get a few oils to make those recipes so I didn't have to keep bumming them off her. And that's how I got started, honestly, is like that. And then the first oil I really fell in love with was one called rosemary, because what I would do is I would actually roll it on my sinuses, and all of a sudden I could breathe. And that was it. I was sold once I discovered that one. And it has been a awesome ride ever since, of just changing things out and learning more and continuing on and really improving our health. So tonight I really want to focus on our kids, because I know school is about to start, which seems crazy. August is right around the corner, and school is starting earlier and earlier in August every year. But it's true, and school, much as we send our kids there, we also know that it's a giant germ factory. And so they like to bring stuff home, and they get sick, and it's just not fun. So I want to share with you the stuff in my mama tool chest that makes our lives a lot easier and helps me handle whatever it is we have to deal with. So that is my goal tonight, is just to share with you what works for us. So why is going natural so important? Well, quite frankly, because God created our bodies to be well and to function properly, as long as we give them what they need. Unfortunately, especially in our society, we have kind of gotten away from natural and gone more towards man-made, and it's really reflected in our health. So our bodies, of course, need good nutrition for the proper building blocks to do all that they were designed to do. So, eat the rainbow. So make sure you get in lots of fruits and veggies of a variety of colors to make sure that your body's getting all the nutrition that you need. And try and stay away from processed food. It's got a lot of chemicals in it as preservatives, flavorings, all kinds of things that our body has trouble breaking down. And of course, the number one thing to stay away from is processed sugar. Believe it or not, processed sugar actually suppresses your immune system for 5 hours. And I recently found out why that is. So processed sugar, when our body absorbs it, it looks very similar to what our white blood cells use for energy. So they take it in, but it's not what they need. So think of it this way. Have you ever tried putting water in the gasoline tank of your car? What would happen if you tried to use water for fuel instead of gasoline? Your car wouldn't go anywhere, which is exactly what happens to our white blood cells. They're supposed to be zipping around looking for things to fight off, and all of a sudden when they intake this processed sugar and it's not the fuel they need, they're stuck and they can't move, and our immune system becomes compromised. So yeah, try and stay away from processed sugar. If you ever notice, a lot of times when your kids get sick, it's after these big sugary holidays, right? So no sooner does school let out than your kids get sick. And that could be a contributing factor, is all of the sugar. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, we tend to have a lot of sweets, a lot of sugar, a lot of candies, a lot of desserts around those times. And sure enough, when we eat all that, our immune systems are suppressed. And then whatever we've picked up, boom, comes to a full disease or state or whatever, whatever our body's been trying to fight off, all of a sudden it can't, and it kind of takes over, which is no good. So if you can keep your kids away from processed sugar, that should help tremendously just with their immune system, naturally. Okay, so of course, and we all know when we're sick, we want to intake lots of vitamin C, because vitamin C does support our immune system and help it function better. And zinc has also been shown as a wonderful thing to have when you're not feeling well. It really helps boost your immune system naturally. So zinc and vitamin C are your friends. So when your kids are sick, what I do with mine is I tend to give them pineapple juice, because juice is a very special treat that they only get when they're sick. And pineapple juice actually has a lot more vitamin C in it than orange juice does. So there's a fun fact for you. All right. So I'm sorry, I'm looking to see where I am in my notes. Let's see. Oh, right. So we were talking about nutrition, and the man-made artificial chemicals can actually get in the way of proper body function, because the body has trouble breaking them down and clearing them out. So they just kind of hang out and recirculate and recirculate and recirculate for a while. And the more we intake, the more that keeps recirculating. And it kind of clogs the system. So the more you can stay away from artificial and man-made, the better. And of course, our liver is this side, right side, liver is our main cleansing organ of the body. So the more you can help that liver out, the better it can function. And our bodies are, of course, designed to break down the plants that God created. So they actually don't hang out in our system very long, because our body was made to clear them out very quickly, unlike that artificial stuff that just keeps recirculating over and over and over until our bodies can finally clear it out. So there is one company that I highly recommend and that I personally use, and that is Young Living. And there's a few reasons why I really recommend them. First is, they are the world leader in essential oils. They've been doing this for 25 years. So they know what they're doing. And second, they're the only company that I'm aware of with the seed to seal guarantee. So that means they own their own farms and they control everything from the seeds, so they get the best seeds they can. They check the soil, they're doing everything to guarantee from when that seed is planted, or actually, harvested to plant, all the way to when the plants are harvested and then distilled and put in a bottle and sealed up and sent to your door. Everything in there is about quality. Which, okay, I will admit, I am a lab nerd. I used to do lab work in a hospital for many, many years before I stayed home with my babies. So quality is my language. I want to know that what I am putting in myself, and especially on my children, is the best that's available. So I want my plants uncontaminated with things like fertilizers and pesticides. I don't want any chemical extenders or any of that artificial stuff that we just talked about in these highly concentrated bottles of oil. Because if I eat one apple that has been sprayed with a pesticide, that gives me a little bit of pesticide inside that my body has to break down. But a bottle of oil is like taking an entire orchard that has been sprayed with pesticide and putting that in your body. And I do not want that. And then with Young Living, I know I'm getting something that's absolutely clean and exactly the way God intended. So I will take that any day, especially for my children. So, not all oils are created the same. And that seed to seal guarantee is why I trust Young Living, right? So you think it's important to know your oil grades. And why do I say that? Well, if you ever notice, if you go to the grocery store or a big box store and they sell therapeutic grade essential oils, you'll notice that they're a lot cheaper than Young Living's oils. Why is that? Well, the label therapeutic grade can mean a lot of things. It can cover anything that contains as little as 5% essential oil and 95% something else. So I'm always leery when someone tells me they can get me essential oils for a lot less expense, because I know the work it takes to get that little bottle of oil. And quite frankly, unless you're losing slave labor, I don't know how you're getting it that cheap unless you're cutting corners. So for me personally, like I said, quality is my thing. I want the best. So the grades of oils that they have out there, there are D grade oils, which aren't actually oils, they're floral water. Floral water is when you're distilling an oil, you of course have to use water as part of the steam distillation. And then you separate the oil and the water. Well, the water that's left from that distillation has a little bit of oil in it, and it's called floral water. And this can actually be packaged and sold as a grade D oil or therapeutic grade. So, yeah, no, not cool. And it doesn't have all of the therapeutic properties that a true essential oil does. So it's very important to check out your company and know exactly what you're getting in your oil. And that's just one grade. The next one is grade C oil. And that is considered a perfume grade, which we're all familiar with perfumes, right? You've gone to the store, gone through the perfume oil aisle and smelled all the stuff, right? So perfume oils, or perfume grade oils, use solvents to extract the oil. It's not distilled properly for any kind of therapeutic properties. And then there's grade B oils, and these are food grade, but they still use things like pesticides and fertilizers and chemical extenders to get the most out of the harvest, which means, again, you're getting all that stuff in a concentrated bottle. Think back to the apple versus the entire orchard. You really don't want any kind of chemicals in a super concentrated bottle of oil. And then, of course, there's true therapeutic grade, grade A oils, which are grown organically, which of course means no pesticides, no chemical fertilizers, none of that mess. And then they are distilled at very low temperatures to make sure all of the chemical constituents of that plant that you need in the oil are there. And of course, Young Living only sells grade A oils. They are absolutely what they claim to be on the bottle, nothing else, which is fantastic. But, and if you notice, a lot of oils at your local grocery store or big box store will say on the label, do not ingest, do not apply topically. Why is that on the label if all that's in that bottle is, you know, a plant? Like lemon. I can ingest a lemon. Why can't I ingest this lemon oil from the store? Well, again, ask yourself, what is in that bottle that's not safe to ingest? And if it's not safe to ingest a lemon, then do I really want it in my house? Personally, no, I don't. And I certainly don't want it around my children. Okay, so if with Young Living, again, being the grade A therapeutic oils, truly therapeutic oils, with nothing in there that shouldn't be, there are 3 ways to use these oils. And you'll see it right on the label of the bottle. You can use them aromatically, which of course means you can inhale them either through a diffuser, directly from the bottle, apply some on your hands, and inhale. You know, however you want to do that. Diffuser jewelry is very popular. I have several diffuser necklaces. Anyway, that's aromatic. And of course, topically is rubbing it directly on your skin. The soles of your feet are a great place to apply topically because your pores are very large there. You can also apply your oils directly wherever you want to put them. For my kids, my 2 favorite spots to put it are the soles of their feet or down their spines. Basically, somewhere where they're not going to get it on their little fingers, and then rub their eyes, because oils and eyes are not fun. So don't do that. And don't let your kids do that either. And then the last way to take Young Living oils is internally. So they have an entire line of oils labeled Vitality, and I'll show you what that looks like later, that are labeled specifically for dietary use. So you can add them as in your food as a seasoning. You can add them to your water or drink. A lot of people like me, I love putting cinnamon in my coffee or peppermint in my hot cocoa. A lot of people like putting lemon in their water. And then when you're cooking with these, a little bit goes a long way. They're, like I said, very concentrated, so it doesn't take much at all. In fact, to flavor an entire batch of spaghetti doesn't even take a full drop of basil oil. In fact, I just kind of dip a toothpick in it and swirl it around the pot, and that is plenty of basil for my spaghetti. Really glad I tested that out the first time I tried it, because honestly, I didn't think that was going to be enough. I almost put a full drop. So glad I didn't and just used the toothpick, because I would have killed the spaghetti. I really would have. So a little goes a long way, especially when you're first starting out. Less is really more. All right. So earlier this week, when I was getting ready for this class, I posted in the discussion that quote, well, not really quote, but paraphrase from Dr. Jim Bob, and where he was talking about disease really is only caused by 2 things: toxicity and deficiency. And the one he really emphasized was toxicity. And I can see why. I really can. So in the body, you know, toxicity is huge. So what causes toxicity? It's really chemicals that are found in our everyday products. Things like triclosan. And I'll put these in the comments later for you if you want to Google them. Triclosan, phthalates, sunscreen chemicals, formaldehyde, anything that says fragrance. Fragrance is code word for fake. Look up fragrance on the CDC website, and it will tell you that because of the way the laws are written, Trade secrets, that's what it was. The fragrances are considered trade secrets, so companies do not have to disclose what is in their fragrances. That's pretty scary because most of them are chemicals. So anytime you see fragrance, be very wary of your products that contain fragrance. So go ahead and Google the dangers of some of these things. You know, your triclosan, your phthalates, your sunscreen chemicals, formaldehyde, fragrances. And you'll find that they've been linked to things like cancer, headaches, endocrine disruption. That's your hormones, by the way, and you need hormones to function. We're not talking just adult hormones. We're talking everything hormones. Mm-hmm. So endocrine disruption, infertility, impaired learning, allergies, and that's just to name a few. There are a lot on there. Go ahead and Google it for yourself, please. I'm a big fan of self-education. You learn more that way. Mm-hmm. So where are these chemicals found at? Because honestly, if you just tell me these things, I have no clue, right? I had to go and do a little research. But they're found in our everyday products. Things like our household cleaners, our laundry soaps, dish soaps, conditioners, shampoos, deodorants, air fresheners, toothpaste. The list goes on and on and on. Start reading your labels on the back of your products. If there's something you can't pronounce, Google it. And especially Google dangers of unpronounceable chemical. And you'll know what? You're going to find some scary stuff. Honestly. If you have a smartphone, download something called the Think Dirty app. And what you can do is you can actually scan your barcodes, and it will tell you just how chemical laden whatever you scanned is. Life may not be the same. But go ahead and look it up for yourself, please. Self-education is key. But, you know, we kind of have fallen into a lull. We think because something is found at the store that it must be safe, because we have organizations like the CDC and the FDA and all the alphabet soups. But all this stuff is still out there and it's still affecting our health. Right? So honestly, and I was shocked to learn the statistic, the average person, especially the average American, I can't speak for worldwide, is exposed to 300 chemicals a day. 80 of those are before breakfast. Guys, that's more in one day than our grandparents were exposed to in their entire lifetimes. That is insane. And our kids are having the same exposure. Is it any wonder we're constantly sick and tired and a mess, right? Okay, so now that I've gone through all the bad stuff, what is in my mama toolbox that I use to help my kid keep my kids so healthy? Well, of course, the first thing I'm going to address is the level of toxicity in my home. Because, you know, I just read off a laundry list of these toxins and where they're found, and I want to get them out, right? So one of the first things I changed out was my household cleaner and my laundry soap. And I switched to Young Living's Thieves household cleaner and Thieves laundry soap. Give me just a second. I'll show you what they look like. So the laundry soap is this cute little bottle. And let me tell you, I'm sure you're looking at this going, I'd go through that in about 2 seconds. Well, let me tell you, this bottle lasts me 6 months. And I'm potty training right now with my boys, so we go through some laundry. 6 months. That's awesome. And it's not full of all the yucky stuff, right? Completely plant-based. And then this bottle over here of Thieves Household Cleaner has completely replaced all of the other cleaners I was using, so that saves me money because I only got one. And this little old bottle, which is a concentrate, lasts me 2 years. I think it, yeah, 2 years. I just broke open my second bottle. But yeah, because I just use a cap full and I put it in a 16-ounce spray bottle and fill the sucker with water, and I clean everything, including my glasses that I'm not wearing because I have horrible glare whenever I do lives. So yeah, fantastic. But and not only that, but because it doesn't have all those chemicals in it, A, it doesn't make me gag when I clean. B, when my kids ask if they can help, I'm like, sure, here's a towel. Let's go to town. So they're at that age where they still want to help. Yay! Yes, please help. Here, clean up your own mess. Mama win, right? Okay, but because I know it doesn't have all that nasty stuff in it that's going to hurt them. I don't have to wear a gas mask. I don't have to worry about them playing with my cleaner. It's wonderful. Your skin is the largest organ in your body, right? I mean, it's everywhere. And it absorbs everything you put on it. So, you know, you figure we wear clothes 24 hours a day, pretty much, minus, you know, when you're in the shower. But we're always wearing clothes. So if there's chemicals in our clothing, our body is absorbing that all the time. And if your clothes come out of your washer smelling like anything, that's a chemical. Your clothes should not come out of your washing machine smelling like anything. They should smell just plain old clean. If you want scent on your clothes, throw some wool dryer balls in your dryer with some essential oils to give them some smell. Don't expect anything out of your washer. Because again, the only thing that's sticking is chemicals, and that means you're absorbing it constantly because you're constantly wearing clothing. And clothing is constantly touching your skin and your sheets and your towels and all the things. All right, so again, if you're a smell junkie, right, if you love air fresheners, room space, candles, get them out because they are full of those chemicals that your body is, again, absorbing. Use a diffuser. It's more cost effective because a couple of drops of oil will last you several hours, which when you break it down is a lot cheaper than those Yankee candles. And the oils can also be very good for you. So yeah, get rid of the chemical junk, switch to a diffuser. Your health will thank you later. All right, so the so that was getting the chemicals out of my home, right? So the next thing I'm going to address is the individual needs of my children, right? Okay, so again, remember, these little bottles of oil are very, very concentrated, and a little goes a long way. When I'm starting with kids, I actually recommend diluting your oils more than you would for an adult, and especially more than someone who has been using oils for a while and whose body has gotten used to it and has already started the detox process. And of course, the younger your child, the more you want to dilute, right? Because it doesn't take much in their little tiny bodies. Okay. So first thing I'm going to talk about this evening is immune support. And for that, I highly recommend the Thieves Blend. Let me see. I've got all my bottles. Let me see if I can find the one I'm looking for. Yes, here it is. Thieves. Because, of course, we were just talking about Thieves Household Cleaner and Thieves Laundry Soap. So it's natural to talk about Thieves Oil. This has a Vitality Oil, and you can tell by the white label. Vitality oils are all labeled for ingestion. So if you want to put some Thieves Vitality in your coffee, there you go. You can support your immune system at the same time. Pretty awesome. While you drink your coffee or hot cocoa, whatever. Of course, in August, I don't think I want hot cocoa. All right, so the Thieves Blend, I recommend using it at least once a day. I put it on my feet and my children's feet at night before bed. If I were sending them to public school, I would definitely put it on their feet twice a day, once before school and then once again when they got home. Because I know they're going to be exposed to stuff constantly all day long, and I want to make sure they have a lot of support. Let's see. And of course, if I give them any kind of sugar, they get an extra dose of thieves because I know their immune system is suppressed whenever they have sugar. And let's be honest, I can't, well, I could, I guess, keep them away from all sugar. I haven't been able to bring myself to do that yet. Let's be real. There are times when they're going to have sugar. You know, it's a wedding and they want cake. It's a holiday and they want a dessert, you know, whatever. They're going to have sugar. So, thieves to the rescue. You know, and then of course, if we've been exposed to something, I'm going to run thieves through my diffuser constantly, especially while they sleep, so they can breathe that in all night long. Let's see. So I've had a lot of people ask me how thieves got its name, and it's a very interesting story. And I'm going to have to tell you about it later because I have a lot of ground to cover, and I notice I'm already at 30 minutes. So I want to keep this to an hour. I really do. I want to be respectful of your time. So if you're curious about the story behind thieves, catch me later, and I will very gladly share that with you. Or ask the person who invited you to this class. They might know. It's a really cool story. All right. So there is an entire line of Thieves products that utilize the blend that we just talked about, including hand sanitizer. And I don't know if you can see that. Ooh, glare's pretty bad. Hand sanitizer. So most hand sanitizers I can't stand the smell of. This stuff smells like Christmas. It's pretty awesome. All right, so the next one I'm going to talk about for immune support is frankincense. I love frankincense. I did not like it the first time I smelled it. I wasn't a big fan, but as I started using it, I got more and more used to the smell, and it grew on me, so I really like it now. But it is awesome for your immune system. It was, of course, given to Jesus by the wise men as one of the 3 gifts that was brought to him. In fact, go ahead and try Googling frankincense and cancer research. And that is all I'm going to say. I want you to go ahead and do that for yourself and see what comes up. All right, so next I'm going to talk about tummy issues. Our kids have experienced a lot of tummy issues, especially my son. So the oil that is my go-to is in here somewhere. Hold on, I got it. That's not it. Here it is. It's the red one. It's another Vitality. This one's called Digize. And this comes in both Vitality and non-Vitality. So the Vitality you can, of course, put in a capsule. But what I tend to do is use the topical and just apply it straight to their little tummies. And I do dilute. But it's not my favorite smelling oil, but it works really, really well. And all things tummy related. Yeah, Digize. There's also a Kid Sense blend called Tummy Jize, which is pre-diluted, and I have used that one on my kids before also. Works really great. And then of course, if you have an infant, what I'd probably do is take that Kid Sense oil and dilute it down a little more. So yeah, works great. Any kind of tummy issue, wonderful stuff. The other tummy oil that I really like is peppermint. Peppermint is super soothing to the digestive system. I'm sorry, I just had it. Where'd it go? Because I'm blind. Nope, that's not it. Yep, blind. There it is. So peppermint, super soothing to the digestive system. Peppermint tea was used to soothe digestion for years and years and years. And you can easily make peppermint tea with peppermint vitality oil if you wished. Or again, you can rub it topically straight onto your stomach. Personally, I have applied some to my throat when my stomach was wanting to come up instead of stay put where it belonged. So yeah, peppermint oil is great for digestion and digestive issues. In fact, there might be peppermint in the Digize blend. I'd have to look. But anyway, if you want a blend or straight, either one, you're covered. All right. So seasonal support. Anybody else have seasonal issues that kind of come and go or come and stay? What I recommend for that, because it works so well for us, is a combination of 3 oils, a lemon, lavender, and peppermint all together. And you can diffuse that. You can make a roller bottle with all 3 and rub it on topically. You can take the Vitality versions in a capsule. My best friend takes them in a spoonful of honey every morning. You know, whatever works for you. And if I really need extra support, if those 3 oils by themselves aren't cutting it, I'll add one in called Copaiba, which kind of kicks things up a notch. So fantastic, works great. I love it. Use that blend on my kids a lot. And then we also have for respiratory support, which we do need, especially with my son. I love this blend called Raven. Now you'll notice this blend actually has a childproof cap on it. It's because it contains wintergreen. And wintergreen smells like menthol. And so the childproof cap is to keep the kiddies from drinking it because it smells like candy. So I personally don't think it smells like candy, but apparently some children do. So childproof cap. And that's all it is. It's just because anything that contains wintergreen is required, I think, to have that childproof cap. No biggie. But we love this blend. I keep this in a roller bottle for my son. And whenever he's having those respiratory, he gets gunk that kind of comes down and settles in his chest, and he's trying to cough it up. Raven is my friend. I use lots of Raven on him, and I also love diffusing Raven during the winter. I find it really helps us at night while we're sleeping. So Raven is an awesome, awesome blend. And again, that rosemary that I had mentioned early on directly on my sinuses, fantastic. In fact, I've gotten to the point now where I just put some on my feet every night, and I personally cannot remember the last time I had a sinus infection, which was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So love rosemary oil. That is one of my personal favorites that I will not run out of. All right, and then of course peppermint. Peppermint's awesome. Is also really good for respiratory. Especially if you know you're going to be doing something. Say you got an athlete, and you can rub some peppermint on their chest right before they go and do their competitions or practice or heavy exercise. And you can find it can really help that respiratory while they're doing their thing. All right, so next thing I'm going to tackle is skin issues. I'm trying to keep an eye on my time. Okay, I'm still good on time. So skin issues can actually be a sign of toxicity, because the liver, if it's unable to keep up with the level of toxins in the body, if it's not able to clear them out fast enough, they will start seeping out through your skin. So skin issues can be a sign of toxicity. So liver support, if that is the case, is lemon oil. Lemon Vitality. Put lemon Vitality in your water every day. Put it in a capsule. Put it in some honey. Lemon oil is your friend and will help out your liver. Any citrus oil really will help out your liver. There's a blend called Citrus Fresh. This one right here. It's a blend of citrus oils plus a little spearmint. If you don't like lemon, try Citrus Fresh. If you don't like it in your water or flavoring your food or in a capsule, rub it directly over your liver and just keep rubbing every day, and that should help clear things out, because lemon and your citrus oils are good at breaking toxins down and can really help your liver clear that mess out. Lavender oil is amazing for your skin. Back to this one, lavender. I use it for things like small irritations, for boo-boos, We have a Boo Boo cream that lives on our table. It's nothing but coconut oil and lavender. And anytime my babies have a boo boo, they want their Boo Boo cream, and I just rub that on, and they are happy, happy, happy. And so am I. I like keeping lavender in my kitchen for when I accidentally touch the hot stove, because I find it very soothing and it takes the heat right out of my skin. So lavender is awesome for skin. If you have teenagers who have hormones, Endoflex, and I did not grab my Endoflex bottle because it's in the kitchen, is going to be your friend, because it is great for balancing your entire endocrine system. A lot of people love rubbing it directly over their thyroids. I personally use Endoflex every day to try and balance my hormones. Obviously, my kids aren't teenagers yet, but when they get there, I will make sure we have plenty of Endoflex on hand. All right, so earlier I had mentioned athletes and peppermint. So we're going to talk a little muscle support again for those athletes, active young ones who are maybe going through growing pains that are muscle related. There is this amazing blend called Panaway. Panaway is wonderful for muscle support. Again, and let me tell you, mama's cramps. Panaway. Because it's a muscle pain, right? But any kind of muscle support, Panaway is fantastic. This is one you're going to want to dilute a little bit more. I think on the bottle it says like 4 drops of carrier oil to 1 drop of essential oil on this one. Obviously for kids you want to dilute that even more. But just rub it on those muscles and it will help tremendously. I like personally putting some in bath salts and taking a nice long soak. Feels amazing. Peppermint is also really good for muscle support. Same thing, you can rub it on, dilute for kids. If you're an adult and you find that you're overheated, you can rub peppermint on and it will give you a nice cooling sensation. So yeah, peppermint is pretty awesome. I use peppermint a lot. Okay, so next thing I wanted to touch on was that it can be a big thing for kids, especially, is focus, concentration, and alertness. And we're going to kind of hit all these together. Frankincense. Where's my friend? Frankincense is what I personally use for my focus, especially during my prayer time, because I like to chase squirrels, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm praying, and then next thing I know, I'm thinking about my sink full of dirty dishes or what I'm going to cook for lunch or whatever, instead of keeping my mind where I want it to. And I find Frank really helps me stay focused and not chase squirrels. He's my anti-squirrel oil. Really is. So I like diffusing frankincense. I like putting some right on the back of my neck, directly on my spinal cord, on my temples. I'll just put some in my hands and inhale. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Love frankincense for that. He's my buddy. Actually, this is one of my favorite all-time oils. I love it. Then in the Kid Sense blends, there's one called Genius that was, of course, specifically, oh, that's you too, Megan. I understand, girl. I really do. Genius is the Kid Sense oils, and it's a blend, again, diluted already for children. And I have had it highly recommended by a lot of my homeschool mom friends. Or, you know, of course, moms love to use it when their kids are doing homework, stuff like that, and it really helps that with that focus and alertness and stuff like that. And then, of course, peppermint, again, my buddy Peppermint, helps put some pep in your step. Haha, because the pep is for, or the pep in peppermint is for pep in your step, right? Okay. I know, I'm getting silly. But honestly, peppermint, it has a very invigorating scent. So if you're dragging first thing in the morning, your kids don't want to get it out of bed, try diffusing some peppermint or some peppermint and lemon together. And you'll find it'll help them be a little more awake, alert, and ready to tackle the day. All right. So the next topic we are going to hit is big emotions, right? Because not only are our kids dealing with focus issues and all kinds of physical issues, they're also dealing with emotional issues. And I would be remiss if I didn't address that in this talk. So for emotional issues, I love, love, love this blend. It's called Valor. And I use this on my son each and every day, every single day, because I know he went through some stuff before he came home that he is still dealing with, and that's okay. But, you know, I'm going to help him out the best I can, because that's what we mamas do, right? So Valor is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's courage in a bottle. So I love to use this blend to remind my babies that they're actually really very brave when they don't think they are, or when they forget that they really are very brave. So sometimes my little girl likes to forget that she really is very brave. So Valor helps her remember that she is, and that she can tackle whatever it is she needs to tackle. And then my next favorite is Peace and Calming. Peace and Calming. Did I mention my babies are 4? So yeah, we do meltdowns, especially on days when we refuse to take naps, because we're kind of at that age where we're starting to give them up. Makes me so sad. And meltdowns, you know, we get a little more prone to drama and meltdowns and craziness, and peace and calming is what I desperately need in my home for my sanity and for their continued survival. So I will diffuse some peace and calming if we're having a really rough day. If we're just having a rough patch, I might just put some directly on the back of the neck or behind the ears. For me, I'll put it, I love the smell of it, so I'll actually put it right here under my nose where I can smell it. Doesn't matter. But peace and calming is definitely my meltdown go-to oil. I love peace and calming. All right. And of course, back to my buddy Frank, right? He's definitely another big emotion oil. So when I personally am worried about giving a presentation or freaking out about something, I will grab my Frank. Because, yeah, what I'll do is just put a little bit on my finger and I'll press it directly to the roof of my mouth, and all of a sudden I can focus past whatever it is I've been focusing on into what's really important. So past the fear and into whatever's important. I treasure this oil. So this is definitely a great big emotion oil to have in your toolbox. And then, all right, I saved the big gun for last. Stress Away. Smells like a vacation in a bottle. I love this oil. Who doesn't have stress, right? And especially with what our kids are going through nowadays in school, with I've heard some horror stories about bullying and stressing out about tests and all the crazy things. Stress Away. Make them their own little roller and send it with them and let them use it. Diffuse it at home. Diffuse it for you, for them, whatever. Stress Away. I'm not kidding. You will thank me later. All right. So those were all of the big topics I wanted to cover as far as that goes. The next one I'm going to look at where we talked about toxicity and getting all that stuff out. Next we're going to talk about deficiency, so nutrition. Ningxia Red. Where did I put my Ningxia Red? Ningxia Red. This stuff is awesome. Think of this as like concentrated nutrition in a fabulous berry drink that your kids will be begging for. My kids love this stuff. Remember how I said when they're sick, I give them pineapple juice? Well, I lace it with Ningxia Red because I know when they're not feeling well that their body needs extra nutrition. This is it. It's full of amino acids and all the things, y'all. I don't even remember. I know it's got zinc in it, and I would have to read through this. Fiber and, you know, protein and calcium and all the things. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of glancing at the back of the thing here. But let me tell you, personally, I started drinking an ounce of this a day, and I no longer wake up exhausted, which is saying a lot. So I love this stuff. I highly recommend it. Ningxia Red. The other couple of things I wanted to mention nutrition-wise are Mighty Zyme. So this is a supplement my children get. I'm sorry, the glares. There we go. Mighty Zyme. It's an enzyme. So our food a lot of times is deficient in enzymes because of the way that it's grown. It's been hybridized. The soil's been depleted, blah, blah, blah. So our bodies are actually lacking in enzymes to even digest the nutrition that we're taking in. So even if we're eating the rainbow, we may not be getting all the benefits from it because we're missing enzymes. So I make sure my babies get extra enzymes so that they can break down whatever nutrition they're getting from the food they're actually eating, which I try and not give them peanut butter and jelly for every single meal, which is what they would ask for, right? And then the other one that I use to help them with nutrition, especially my son, is Mighty Pro. So this is a prebiotic and probiotic supplement. And, you know, most of your immune system is actually housed in your gut, and your gut is mostly bacteria, right? Well, this is the good stuff. This is the bacteria that your body's supposed to have. So I have noticed since we've started my little boy in on his probiotics, the Mighty Pro and the Mighty Zyme and his enzymes, his bowel movements have gotten a lot better. So yay. If that's an issue, something to keep in mind. He may need some digestive support in the form of that. All right. So, all right. I got to close this up because I promised to keep it at about an hour. But honestly, I know I just covered a whole bunch of stuff, and you're probably feeling a little overwhelmed because there was a lot. I understand. But honestly, what I want you to take away from this class and this talk is my two biggest tools in my arsenal, which I haven't even mentioned yet, because they're my reference guide and my community. And that's it. Those are the two biggest tools I have in my Mama Toolbox, right? My reference guide helps me know what to grab. And then, of course, my favorite is my desk reference that I got from discoverlsp.com. Love that. It's fabulous. Highly recommend it. But the community of parents that I have to draw on is amazing, right? I have never felt like I've had to do this alone, like I've had a question that nobody was willing to answer. You know, guys, I've never felt like I've had to figure all this mess out on my own, which is amazing. So that's huge, right? Not feeling alone. I can always ask, and I can pretty much guarantee you there's another mama or papa out there who's had an issue similar enough that they can say, hey, this worked for us. You should try it. And that's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, people are willing to share their experiences in this community. You know, we're all willing to share our stories, which is such a huge help, you know, feeling like you're not alone. Not alone. Okay, so after covering all of that, what's the best way to get started? Because, you know, I'm not going to tell you all that and then not tell you how to get started, guys. Honestly, a premium starter kit gives you the most bang for your buck. 12 of the oils that I've talked about here tonight come in that kit. You get your choice of diffuser, you get the hand sanitizer, you get a sample of the clean, well, no, not the clean, you get clean spray, you get a couple of samples of the Ningxia Red that I was talking about. All of that comes in a premium starter kit, right? and the community, which is amazing that you can go to with all your questions. It's great. But anyway, so all the stuff that comes in the kit, you get for over half off, which is amazing. So I highly recommend it because it's got everything you need to get started. Plus one of the 2 biggest things in my mama tool chest. So yeah. But yeah, of course, the community is priceless and absolutely necessary for getting started. But once you've got your starter kit, you can continue filling your tool chest every month by signing up for Essential Rewards. Now, why would I say that? Well, because it's customizable. You can get exactly what you want in your subscription wellness box every single month. You get points back, which is giving you great rewards for your investment, right? And who doesn't like getting points back? Because then you can turn around and use it for free stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to discounted shipping. I like that too because I get this stuff every single month because we use it, right? Constantly use it. I'm sorry. I'm checking my notes. I'm like, all these good things. But yeah, basically it's really helped our budget because not only do we get discounted shipping, but you've got the option of signing up for YL Go, which is kind of like Amazon Prime. You used to pay a flat rate for your year-long shipping, and that has really helped our budget because we just pay that one fee, and then we've got priority shipping, which means my orders get here a lot faster, and I'm not having to pay for like overnight or 2-day shipping, and it's still coming that quickly, so it's really awesome. Love YL Go. Like I said, it's really going to be the most bang for your buck in dealing with these things that constantly come up. All right. So, thank you so much for your time. And please talk to the person who cared enough to invite you to this class. Ask that person for their link and ask them, what would be best for your family. Talk to them. I know that they'll be happy to help you. If I invited you to this class, talk to me, send me a message. I would love to help you figure out what is going to work best for your family's needs, guys. Like I said, just talk to us. Thank you so much for your time. I'm right at an hour, doing great. So, please share this class with others who need this information. I'm leaving it open through Saturday to make it easier to share, so that you don't have to go back and hunt for it. It's still open, but there are people who need this information, right? We're all parents trying to do the best we can for our kiddos. So share. But basically, yeah, like I said, if you weren't able to make it live, that's okay. Drop your questions in the comments. I will do my best to answer them. Send them to the person who invited you. They will do their best to answer them. And, I hope this has just really been a blessing to you. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And good night.